Here's something I want to show you that might be very useful to minimize the amount of BBs that may be around in the garage or wherever you happen to be training, minimize the possibility of ricochets. It's a BB trap, and it's a pretty simple thing to actually set up. You see a finished product here with a silhouette target on it, ready to go to shoot at. However, what I want to explain is how did we actually make this. It looks pretty nice the way it is here. This might not look as nice when I take this off, but it'll show us what we really have to know about making one of these. Now what I've done is just take a regular large cardboard box. I've cut out the interior of this so that this is actually a giant hole in the box if this bag wasn't over it. On the inside of it, I just have bags of shredded paper inserted in here so that as the BBs pass through the shredded paper, they decelerate and get trapped within this box. Normally, I reinforce the back of it with a couple of extra pieces of cardboard just in case so that I don't get an actual penetration through it. But usually with the handguns and the velocities we get out of them, this usually has sufficient backing on it. But if you want, you can put an extra couple of pieces of cardboard in there. Then all I do is take regular trash bags, put it over the top so that it holds everything in, and then you have a perfect way of shooting in your garage or elsewhere where when you're actually hitting into the target area, your BBs stay trapped. Of course, we always want you to be aware of what's behind it so that, one, you don't create any damage, but also for the ricochet factor. Now, even if you don't use a silhouette target, another way that we can set this up to shoot, and this will become more apparent why we use 8.5 by 11 inch papers as you go through the program. But if I don't have silhouettes, I can simply take an 8.5 inch piece of paper, tape it onto the BB trap, and use that as a target. Many times all I use is take paper that I'm going to shred anyways and just use them for targets. The significance of this 8.5 by 11 inch piece of paper is if we impose that onto a body, we can see that if your shots are within this area, you have a high probability of having effective rounds on target. So for a lot of our close-quartered shooting, we utilize this 8.5 inch by 11 paper to use as a target area. So simple BB trap boxes are great to use for this. If you have some of those rubber bins that we store things in, they can also be used by just putting your bags of shredded paper inside that. Put a bag over it to contain everything. And again, targets just like we showed you between this 8.5 by 11 paper or the full silhouette. And there you have it, a great way to be able to train and not make a mess in the process.